Art in Asia. Chinese art. Chinese art is a visual art that originated in China, Greater China, or by Chinese artists. Arts created by Chinese residing outside of China can also be considered a part of Chinese art when it is based in or drawn in Chinese culture, heritage, and history. Qin Dynasty, 221 to 206 BCE, Chinese first emperor. The Great Wall of China, Qin Dynasty. The Great Wall has been built and added to by several Chinese dynasty. Ang Great Wall of China ay isang sinaunang serya ng wall and fortification na may haba na higit sa 13,000 miles na matatagpuan sa Northern China. Nare-recognize ang China dahil sa long history ng The Great Wall of China. Ang original na nakaisip nito ay ang unang emperor na si Qin Shi Huang. Noong 3rd century BC bilang isang paraan ng pagpigil sa paglusob ng mga barbarian Normans. The best known and best preserved section of the Great Wall was built in 14th to 17th centuries during Ming Dynasty. The Great Wall never effectively prevented invaders from entering China. Ito ay naging isang powerful symbol of Chinese civilization during its trend. Next is the terracotta soldiers in 3rd century BCE. A massive army of clay sculpture meant to go with the emperor into afterlife. The Terracotta Army ay isang koleksyon ng terracotta sculpture na naglalarawan ng mga hukbo ni Qin Shi Huang, ang unang emperor ng China. It is a form of funerary art na inilibing kasama ang emperor noong 210 to 209 BCE na may layuning protektahan ang emperor sa kanyang kabilang buhay. Han Dynasty in 206 BCE to 221 CE. The famous Han Dynasty the flying horse. Horse is poised on a flying swallow. The flying horse of Gansu, also known as the bronze running horse or the galloping horse treading on a flying swallow, is a Chinese bronze sculpture from the 2nd century CE. Natuklasan noong 1969 malapit sa lungsod ng Wuwei sa lalawigan ng Gansu. It is now in the Gansu Provincial Museum. Ito ay isang kahanga-hangang halimbawa ng 3-dimensional form and animals portraiture with a head. Ay malinaw na nagpapahayag ng lakas ng loob. Chinese pottery. Qing Dynasty in 618 until 907 CE. It is the example of porcelain. First appears in the use of pottery. Ayan po yung mga pottery sa China noong panahon ng Qing Dynasty. Iba't ibang disenyo po ng kanilang pottery. Yuan Dynasty in 1280s until 1370s. Chinese pottery, the Yuan Dynasty began to paint the stylish dragon and experiment with glazes. Ito naman pong Yuan Dynasty is yung mga nakadesign po sa pottery nila is yung mga dragon and other designs po na pinag-experimentoan nila sa glazes. The Ming Dynasty, 1370s until 1640s. Ming Dynasty is famous for ultra-white porcelain and blue glazing overlay. It is an example of Ming Dynasty ink drawing. It is late returned from a spring Ming Dynasty. The second one is poets on a cliff top with landscape. Next, it is an example of Ming Dynasty building with landscape. Chinese ceremonial wine pouring vessel in 14th to 13th century BCE. Is a type of ancient Chinese vessel used to serve warm wine during ancestor worship ceremonies. It takes the form of an ovoid body supported by 3 spade triangular legs with a long curved spout on one side and a counterbalancing fledge on the other. Chinese architecture. Chinese architecture ay ang sagisig ng isang estilong arkitektura na umunlad sa loob ng milenya sa China at naimpluwensyahan ito sa architecture sa buong Silagang Asya. Mula nang lumitaw ito sa unang bahagi ng sinaunang panahon, ang mga prinsipyo ng istruktura ng arkitektura nito ay nanatiling hindi nagbabago. Ang mga panauhing pagbabago ay nagsasangkot ng magkakaibang mga detalye ng ay nagkaroon ng malaking impluensya sa mga estilo ng architecture ng Japan, Korea, Mongolia, at Vietnam. At maliit na naimpluwensyahan sa arkitektura ng Timog Silangan at Timog Asya. Kabilang ang mga bansang Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, at Pilipinas. Next is the Japanese art. Japanese arts cover a wide range of art style and media, including sculpture, ink painting, and calligraphy on silk and paper, and woodblock prints and anime. Woodblock printing, the process of printmaking that involves the wooden slab where ink is placed. For example, the Great Wave and the Floating World. The Floating World was series based on the lives of kabuki actors and celebrities. Here is the example of anime. Cultural tradition and beliefs help create the animal characters we see. Japanese sculpture, fabric work. This is an example of Japanese kimono. Japanese kimono is a traditional Japanese garment and the traditional dress of Japan. The kimono is a warp front garment with square sleeves and rectangle body, and is worn left side warp over right, unless the wearer is descends. The kimono is traditionally worn with a broad sash, called an obi, and is commonly worn with accessories such as zori sandals and tabi socks. A long time ago, people in Japan used to wear kimonos every day. The Japanese people have been wearing kimono for hundreds of years. Today, they only wear kimono on special occasions, such as formal ceremonies and a wedding. Most Japanese women wear kimono. Women kimono usually have colorful design of flowers, butterflies, and more. In addition to women's kimono, they are all the same size. They fold them and adjust them to get the right size for the wearer. Men's kimonos consist of the hohori, top, and the hakama, loose pants. In Japan, people can study to learn how to properly wear a kimono and to learn how to choose kimono, including how to tie the belt, obi. Most Japanese women do not know how to wear kimono without an assistant because it is very difficult to do. There are some people who make a living as someone kimono wearer to help with this art of dressing. Japanese carp kite or koinobori. Koinobori are special kites in the shape of a fish called a koi. The koi is revered in Japan as a symbol of strength. Ang Japanese carp kite ay pinapalipad mula April through early May bilang parangal sa isang holiday na tinatawag na Kodomo no Hai or Children's Day na nagaganap sa May 5 and featured families flying the kites to symbolize the wish that children grow into healthy spirit adult. Buddha Amida, gold leaf and lacquer on wood, 1053 CE. This sculpture is by an artist named Joko. The Buddha is seen here as very approachable, intimate, and is seated on a lotus of contemplation. Japanese architecture. Here's the example of Japanese architecture. Himeji Castle in 16th century. The three main characteristics: curved roof line, stories of roof lines, and wooden brackets. Here's the Japanese temple, Shuzonji Temple in 11th century CE. These are the extravagant buildings were built for a religion and the wealthy. Yung mga temples sa Japan, tinayo ang mga building or temples sa Japan para sa kanilang relihiyon. Japanese ink drawing. Ink drawing were mostly a landscape. Art had to be stamp of proof it was worthy profession. These are the examples of ink drawing. Landscape in Wind by Seison Shuki in 16th century. The next one is the landscape by Sheshu Toyo in 1507. Here's the Indian art. Indian art is a very religious and traditional. It has root in Buddhism, Hinduism, and sometimes Christianity. Shiva Nataraja. Shiva Nataraja is a brilliant invention. It combines in a single image of Shiva's role as creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe, and convey the Indian conception of the ever-ending cycle of time. To it appear in sculpture as early as the 5th century. Its present word famous from involved under the rule of the Cholas. Indian sculpture. This sculpture depicts the Tribhanga pose. This pose is unique in Indian sculpture, and it's traditionally a three-body bend. Tribhanga or Tribunga is a standing body position or stance used in traditional Indian art and Indian classical dance form, like the Odissi, where the body bends in one direction at the knees, the other direction at the hips, and then the other again at the neck and shoulders. Next is the Shivatara Vishnu Temple, believed on the south wall showing Vishnu 425 CE. Here Vishnu is asleep and dreaming on the headed serpent named Ananta. The Dashavatara Temple, in an early 6th century Vishnu Hindu temple located at the Dogar, Uttar Pradesh, which in 125 kilometers from Jhansi, in the Batwa River Valley, in northern central India. It has a simple one-cell square plan and is one of the earliest Hindu stone temples still surviving today. Next is the Indian painting drawing, Bodhisattva Padmapani Ajanta Caves, 5th CE. In the 5th CE. This painting is typical of the Ajanta cave with used subject matter from the Sataka This is story of various lives and incarnation of the Buddha. Bodhisattva Padmapani is perhaps the first known of the painting in the Ajanta caves. Padmapani is literally translate into one who holds the lotus. Bodhisattva is one who aspires to be Buddha. Here he is holding a blue lotus in his hand. Indian architecture. Kailasanatha Temple, 757 to 90 CE. The Kailasanatha Temple, also referred to as the Kailasanatha Temple, is a Pallava era historic Hindu temple in Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, India. Dedicated to Shiva, it is one of the oldest surviving monuments in Kanchipuram. The last one is the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is an Islamic ivory white marble mausoleum on the right bank of the river Yamuna in the Indian city of Agra. It was commissioned in 1631 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to house the tomb of his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It also housed the tomb of Shah Jahan himself.